Hey guys, Joe here. Welcome to another Dragon Ball FighterZ video, and welcome back to my patch 1.40/1.41 review. Today, we will be taking a look at Mr. Perfect Cell. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, Cell has received quite a number of changes, and after he was nerfed last patch in regards to his EX Perfect Attack, which, just to give you a brief reminder of what that does, it is both an anti-air and full invul, which is bullshit. But the frame 4 invulnerability was nerfed to be frame 4 rather than frame 2, which even still is not bad at all. But regardless, Cell got some nice changes this patch, and even got some adjustments to changes he got last patch, which we'll get into when we get to them. So without further ado, let's get into it. Like I just said, not even that long ago, so yeah, let's check out all of Cell's changes, which he got a pretty nice bundle. So let's see what he can do. The first change I want to take a look at is to the second hit of Cell's auto combo, which looks like this. It is a lariat style attack. And as of this patch, if you hold forward, it changes the behavior of the attack. So let me first talk about the normal version, which looks like this, and is 9 frames and -5 on block. But if you hold forward, it is now 23 frames but +1 on block. So obviously this is going to give Cell some a nice option for his stagger pressure, which now means he can mix up whether he uses the regular version or the delayed version, which is going to be much more plus, which is nice. It's very, very nice, and I think it's going to do a lot for Cell's stagger pressure, since that's one of his greatest strengths. So I think this is a good change for him. The next change is to Cell's 5M, or more specifically, his 4M, which can now be done faster out of a 5M. So before, he used to be 16 frames on block, and now it is 11 frames on block. So now you can do this much faster. However, that doesn't mean you can't still delay the timing to make it what it was before, to make it even slower. You have that option still. So now, you basically have the choice to mix up the timing on the 4M. You can make it as fast as you want, or as slow as you want. Which, again, is going to do wonders for Cell's stagger pressure, which, like I said before, is one of his strongest aspects. So that just gives him a lot more to work with, which is nice. However, Cell's 5M was not the only medium that was changed. In fact, his 2M got some changes. The first of which being a faster startup, and the second being an increased attack duration, which means you now travel further. And the attack also lasts much longer. The move is now 9 frames and -12 on block. But even though it's still unsafe on block, you have options to combo out of it, such as, I don't know, a Ki Blast, maybe a few Ki Blasts that are 7 frame startup and -4 on block, or maybe, you know, Rolling Crush, which is -2 on block. Or maybe Perfect Attack. So you've got stuff. But if you need to, you also have that. You have that. And that, which is pretty ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie, but it's still really cool nonetheless, because now you can do this, and it'll potentially true string. I say potentially because I don't know, I don't play this character enough, but it's still really cool that he has this at his disposal. Because now, like I said, yet again, this allows him to mix up his stagger pressure, which, again, strongest aspect, or one of the strongest. It might be his strongest aspect, I don't know. But regardless, this further improves upon Cell's stagger pressure, which, you know, but buffing the thing that makes him as good as he is always really good. The next change is to Cell's 2H, which, for those of you who don't know, that's Cell's 2H, a stationary move. Very stationary, didn't go anywhere. And on block, it was relatively unsafe. But, if you now do his new 3H, he now moves much further forward. As for the distance he travels, it's pretty respectable for what it's worth. But with this new version of the move, it allows for two things. Number one is an anti-reflect option, especially after perfect reflect. Well, that's 5H, but even that doesn't come close. But there's 3H. Now you can actually anti-reflect. And as for regular 2H, I don't think I need to say anything. But then there's the other thing, which is catching vanishes. Like if you dash forward and someone vanishes, you can now catch them. Well, if you don't do the wrong move. You can now catch them. Unlike 2H, which misses if you do that with 3H, you can now just fucking fly back and catch him. Like, I'm gonna go this way. Nope. That's exactly how that interaction would go. Probably not, but regardless. Still very, very good for Cell, because now it gives him, like, a new option to use, you know, in a pretty decent number of situations. Which is really nice. And it also just helps him to, you know, bridge the gap in a lot of things. So this is ultimately a really, really good change for Cell. The next change is to the light version of Cell's Hellstrike, which, you know, as of last patch got two variants. The medium variant, which has been around forever, and the light variant. Now the medium variant, which is J22M, has a 33 frame startup, is -3 on block, and crosses up the opponent. Then there was the light version, which stayed same side, but before this patch, it was slower and, you know, unsafe. So the devs decided to change that by first giving it a faster startup, and secondly giving it reduced landing delay, or reduced landing recovery. So now, if you do J22L, the move is now 36 frames, has a 36 frame startup, and is +3 on block, which is pretty good, especially if you come in using something like, let's say, a jumping heavy, which is extremely plus on block. You can now remain plus on block. And you could cross up with either the light or medium version. So you've got that at least. But not only that, the move can now also be used more effectively in combos. Let me show you. Because last patch it couldn't be used in combos, now it can. So now you can actually use it in combos, but unlike the medium version, after you vanish you now side switch. Which is Pretty cool, I'd say. It grants Cell the same combos, just going in a different direction, which is pretty nice, I'd say. And as for its overall changes, especially both on block and in combos, it's a pretty good change, and I think this move can now have some more practical use case in Cell's kit. The next group of changes are for Psycho Crash, which is Cell's command grab. In the last patch it was really slow and didn't have enough hit stun to allow you to combo mid-screen, but now you can, because firstly, it has a faster startup. 23 frame startup. And in addition to that, it also has an increased stun time, adjusted knockback, and reduced hit stun. All of which lead to this. This ultimately means that now, for the first time, Cell can use his command grab as a mid-screen combo extender, which is fucking huge for the character. Because for so long he hasn't been able to do that, and now he can. Here's a combo I came up with a couple nights ago, showcasing the ability to use this as a mid-screen combo extender. Looks like this. Pretty fucking insane. 6k damage. 6k damage using that extension. And that's just one example of a combo you can now do with Cell's command grab. There are plenty of other examples, and even other combos that you could do with this move before are now easier because A, it's faster, and B, you get a lot more reward off of it. Now, whether you could confirm into Dragon Rush off of this, I'm not sure, but maybe. Let's see. I think it might be possible. Hold on. Oh yeah, that is a lot easier. So now you don't have to, pop them up in the air. You don't have to have them higher up in the air before you do it. And then catch them. You can now catch them a lot easier because of the increased stun time, which is going to help out a lot. Which is really good for this move, because this move has honestly just been, it's only been a corner exclusive combo extender for so long, and you couldn't really make much of it mid-screen, but now with the changes it's received, it is a much better combo option in the mid-screen, which is fantastic. The next change is for the grounded version of Cell's Kamehameha, which now does more damage. If you know what the damage was last time, it was like 1,000 something, now it's 1,208, which is really good, and it now adds more damage to Cell's combos, which is going to be really good for him. And I think it also goes for the diagonal version, I'm not sure though. Oh yeah, that's definitely increased, so that's really good for the character, because now his Kamehameha is going to add more damage to his combos, which is going to be really good. Now we come to the assists, and all three of Cell's assists have been buffed. So, let's talk about each individual one. First, let's talk about A assist, which for the longest time has been a pretty underwhelming assist, but after this patch it might actually be good, starting with the change to its attack startup, which has been made faster. It is now 41 frames compared to, what was it last time, 45 frames or something? Something like that, but it's now a little bit faster. And as you probably noticed, Cell also recovered faster. That's because Cell now has reduced recovery after the assist. So he now disappears faster. In addition to that, as you probably noticed, the move also has increased hit stop. So now the opponent is in hit stop for longer, 60 frames, or 61 frames to be more specific, which is crazy, because now this assist is actually a lot better for combo extensions. when you hit it anyways. Well, if you hit it. Yeah, there we go. So now you have more time to actually confirm, which is great. But in addition to that, the last change this move got was more block stuff, which looks like this. 41 frames of block stun, which means you're going to have a lot more advantage on block, which ultimately makes this assist a lot more useful. It grants it a lot more utility. And I think with these changes, it's going to be a lot better in a lot more situations. The next assist to talk about is his B assist, which got 3 very big changes. The first of which being increased distance, which looks like this. Cell now goes as far as Super Saiyan Vegeta's B assist, which is crazy. So now Cell and Super Saiyan Vegeta go the exact same distance, but it gets better. Because in addition to that, the attack now has a longer duration, equaling out to more block stuff, which... nice. But then there's the last change. Increased hit stop. The opponent is now hit stop for longer. This is incredibly good because now this assist, even for as good as it already was, is now even better. If you can hit anything anyway. There we go. Something like that. So, overall, B assist is definitely a much better lariat assist than it was before. Not just on block, but on hit and just as a presence on the screen in general. It is now a bit more of a threat, which is really good. The last change I want to talk about is Cell's C assist, which now has invincibility part with promotion, similarly to the EX Perfect attack, which I believe it's based on, or one of the versions. Either way, it now has invincibility part with promotion. So let me see if I can display it. Well, it's a pretty tight, confirm, but so yeah, it's definitely got better invincibility. It's still a bit hard to pull off, but not totally impossible. So this could definitely make an already popular assist in Cell's C assist a bit more popular. And with that, we have covered all of the changes Cell has received this patch, and I am very happy with every single change he got. But if I had to pick my favorite out of the lot, it would be the changes to Psycho Crash, his command grab. Because the fact that it can now be used mid-screen in his combos, or be used as a mid-screen combo starter, is just... oh, it's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. This is so fucking beautiful. Thank God. Thank the Lord. His command grab can now be used mid-screen. Can actually be useful. Whether as a combo starter or as a combo extender, it is now viable mid-screen. Thank the Lord. I cannot tell you enough how happy that makes me. But even though all these changes were really good, that doesn't mean there aren't changes that I wouldn't give to the character still. As for what those changes are, well, let's talk about it. So now we come to the final part of the video where I list off all the changes I personally would make to the character. And I'm gonna be honest, there were 6 changes, with one of those changes being to B assist, getting 35 frames of block stuff. But, thankfully, that wish has been granted, as you saw earlier. B assist for Cell now has 35 frames of block stuff thanks to the increased attack duration. I believe that's what's new, but whether it is or not, doesn't matter. The point is, Cell's B assist has 35 frames of block stuff, and I could not be happier about it. And even though that is one of the 6 things that I have listed down, that leaves us 5 other things to go over, so let's do so. The first 2 changes I want to talk about are to cells 5L and 5M. And to give you a better idea of what I mean, take a look. Not a lot of distance on 5L. And for 5M, not a lot of distance on that either. So, first change I would make is to both of those moves, and it's literally just the same change. Increase the distance the attack travels for both 5L and 5M. But make it so 5M goes further, but 5L just goes a little bit further. Not too much, but enough to make it a potent stagger option. The third thing I would like to see changed is to the light version of Rolling Crush, aka 2-6L. The only thing I would like to see for this move is to have the startup of the move be increased from 6 frames to 7 frames, specifically for the grounded version, because that's ridiculous. And it would make the move a little more fair. It would still be good, just not ridiculous. The next change I would like to bring up is to EX Perfect Attack, which, for those of you who don't remember what happened in patch 1.33, it was given full invulnerability as well as keeping its anti-air properties. And to put it simply, this thing being an invincible anti-air is bullshit! So, in regards to EX Perfect Attack, I would like to see the invulnerability on this move, the full invulnerability on this move, be removed in its entirety, because it doesn't need to be there. Period. And as for the last change is to C-Assist. And you might be wondering, what would I want done with C-Assist? Simply put, this. More block stun. I would like for Cell C-Assist to have 30 frames of block stun. Nothing too crazy, but something respectable at least. And that's it. Those are all the changes I would make to Cell. If he got those 5 changes specifically, I think the character would be in a perfect state. No notes. That'd be it. I mean, and I do mean it. Those are the only changes that would allow Cell to really become perfect in this game. Buffs to the range on his 5L and 5M. Increase in startup by 1 frame to the ground version of Light Rolling Crush. Removing the invincibility on EX Perfect Attack and making C-Assist plus on block by 5 more frames. And that would be it. And with that, we've come to the end of the video. So, firstly, I want to thank you guys for watching. And until we meet again, don't do anything stupid and take good care of yourselves. That's all from me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.